Hey, Cassie asked me to make a video about disinformation and what it's like to be a truth-monger in the world of news manipulation. So my name is Claire Sanama and I'm a development producer for CBS News. I primarily work for the true crime show 48 Hours that comes on Saturday nights. So typically whenever we're working with news that we're trying to verify, it's usually related to a criminal case. So a lot of times we'll get a tip that someone's been arrested, but the news hasn't broken yet. And so we have a very thorough process to go through and check that before we report it. Just hearing it from one source, no matter who that source is not good enough for us to go to air with it. So we always make sure that we're backed up multiple ways. We like to have 3 sources on a piece of breaking information like an arrest. So, for example, if we have a family member that tells us, that someone's been arrested, we will take that piece of information and we'll try to get it verified through someone in the law enforcement community, maybe someone in the jail, maybe a defense attorney or a prosecutor, a sheriff's deputy, someone who can say, that they had their hands on that person and they were arrested. Another way to do that would be if we could get some type of video evidence, go figure. That's usually pretty reliable. If someone, was arrested and maybe a neighbor took a video of them being taken into custody, and we can verify that location and the time data from that source, then we would feel pretty confident going to air with that, even though there might not be an official press release from the law enforcement entity, in that case yet. Now, one of the benefits of working for a show like 48 Hours is that we don't have to do breaking news very much. Most of the time, whenever our story comes out, these facts have already been established. But as we are reporting out the story, a lot of times we have information that hasn't been made public yet, and we're always wondering, is there a way to help the CBS News Network break this, for the CBS Evening News or the CBS Morning Show? Even though it's not 48 hours, it's all in the family, as we say at CBS. So we work closely with those other departments and verify things that will be breaking news for the network. And that's always exciting to be part of, especially as a news magazine show. We might not be the ones who go to air first, although sometimes we are with a story, but it's nice to know that, it still lands on the network. Something else we have to be careful with as a primetime show is just knowing that people might want to, get on the air with us for nefarious reasons. They might not actually have a relationship to the story. They just want to see if they can get on national TV. And I call these people looky-loos, and I find them at every single trial that I go to. There's someone sitting there, a lot of times they're there every day for a criminal trial, for a big murder trial, and you'll wonder, who is that person? What's their connection to the case? And, there's always one person, if it's a big enough trial, that has no connection to the case, and they're just curious. They're just there to find out what's going on and to be a wallflower. But they might represent themselves as someone who knew the victim or knew the defendant in an effort to try to con me and see if they can get on camera. So it's usually pretty easy to figure out if they actually knew the person. I'll ask what their relationship is to the case. And if they tell me that they knew, a key player, I'll ask more questions. So how long have you known them? Where did you meet them? And if it gets to the point where I really am still questioning them, I'll say, oh, do you have any photographs? You're such good friends. Do you have any photographs together? And these are all red flags. If they start to say like, oh no, we didn't take pictures, or, I can't remember where we met, or, things like that, I start to get suspicious and it gives me pause. And, if I have any questions about their authenticity, then I just don't put them on camera, just find a better source. And there's always going to be people out there who are trying to manipulate you, and you don't exactly know why, but it's important to question people's motives, when they're coming forward. All right, well, hope this helps. And as always, Cassie, if you have any other requests, any other questions, I'm happy to try to answer them.